in order to achieve at the highest level, you have to sacrifice a lot and you have to work harder than everyone else. And I kind of use this like 95-5% rule. Like 95% of people are going to be content clocking in and clocking out. Then there's that 5% of people who are going to overachieve. And it's probably even smaller than that. It's probably even 1%. When you think of sort of income, you always hear about the 1%. Well, I'm not saying all of the 1% got there through hard work, but anybody who didn't come from that and then got there, they had to sacrifice a lot to get there. It's very rare to just hit the lottery or just, your first thing is a big success. You really have to grind it out and like make mistakes and get better. And that's life. So I embrace that. I love that version of life for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I also appreciate the fact they mentioned that it's been 17 years in the sense of like, you didn't go into the music industry, first year at a Full Sail, be like, all right, I'm going to make a hit right now. I'm going to win a Grammy. Oh, maybe that might have been the mentality in the sense of like, I think a lot of people go in there expecting it. And then you realize, oh, shoot, it's going to take a long I think you have I think 2 nominations and 1 win, right? In the Grammys?
Well, yeah, 2 named nominations, but I've worked on, I recorded all of the hook for All of the Lights for Kanye. It was actually in a Beyonce songwriting session. The Dream was there, and Kanye kind of hijacked the Dream from Beyonce's session and said, hey, I need you to write this hook for me. And so, that won a Grammy, but I wasn't named in it. So, whatever. But yeah, as far as like actual nominations and yeah, 2 nominations.
How many years in was that first one?
The first,
I guess, win. Or the win, yeah.
Well, that was for Don't Let Me Down that we won that in...
Probably, what, 2015? 2016?
2017?
Yeah.
The song came out in 2015, and then... Or no, the song came out in 2016, and then I think it was the 2017 Grammys. Yeah.
So that's 12 years into the career of grinding, like, that being the point. Like, I think you can't go into the industry not expecting, number one artist, because otherwise you'd never have the drive to do it, because it'd be just so depressing otherwise.
Yeah.
But you go into that, or number one producer, or Grammy-winning producer, whatever the case is, right? But the reality is 99% of the time it takes years and years and years and years of work.
Yeah, I mean, facts.
It's true, man. No way around it. See, I like talking about that because a lot of people want the things that people have but don't realize what the steps that they took to get there. So I appreciate you talking about the fact that you scrubbed toilets and got food and cleaned walls and picked up their microphone, because people don't want to put in that work now.
And I'm well aware. And, I look at the internet, and there's a huge dialogue in society right now about like income inequality and these sorts of things. And granted, there is a part of the wealth gap that is inherited wealth that then gets like recycled into more inherited wealth and whatever. And like there is that part of the world, but there's a huge amount of people who just bust their ass every single day. Like I didn't come from any of this. I didn't come from a place of enormous opportunity. I mean, granted, I did have advantages. I paid for part of my college, but my mom supported me through that, which is an advantage that I have that many people don't. I recognize that. But again, my first year of, 3 years of working, I was working over 100 hours a week every single week. Mm-hmm. So my argument to that is like, okay, cool. If I'm able to do 120 hours a week, that means you can have a full-time job working 40 and still do another 80 or 60 hours interning on the side, which is enough to get you to where you need to go. If you have to limit it to 60 hours a week, like, okay, you'll be hours a week, you'll be okay. I just happen to really go above and beyond, and honestly, I just never wanted to leave the studio. But if there's a will, there's a way, and it's like,
exactly.
Of course it's not easy. Life is hard. Life is not meant to be easy. If it was easy, everyone would be wealthy, and everyone would have a Grammy, and everyone would have a Nobel Prize, or whatever the accolade that you think is what you're looking for. New York Times bestseller. I don't know. Everyone would be that, but the reality is only the amount of work required to get to that place is it requires an exceptional ability to focus and drive and motivate yourself, and nobody's going to motivate for you. You have to. It's got to be here. You got to do it. It's internal.